Greetings, pop pickers. This is Panther saying hi to the so-called left. What I want to know is, did anyone ever actually tell you guys that Stalin is dead? What you want to know is, who on earth am I to muscle in on your drivel show? One grandfather was Arthur Palmer, a registrar of births, marriages and deaths in the East End. That side was pure labour. My other grandfather was John Howard, a Fabian, a socialist and an atheist. My grandmother was Elizabeth Howard, a socialist, a feminist and a Unitarian. My father's cousin was Professor Rodney Howard Hilton, party member until 1956 when, like so many of them, he had just bloody had enough. Rodney's mother, my father's Aunt Anne, was a Hilton. It was the proud boast of the Hilton family that they could trace their radical heritage back to Peterloo. My uncle was Richard Kish, a communist journalist who fought in the international brigades in the Spanish Civil War. Right, now you know where I sit on the left, slap bang in the middle of it. The enemy of the human race is unaccountable power, whether it's the Politburo or the Muslim Brotherhood or the City of London or the Vatican. Power that thinks we the people are the passive recipients of its commands. In order to hold power accountable, we have to know what it's doing. We have to be free to find out what it's doing. We have to be free to ask it what it's doing. And we have to be free to tell it we don't like it, and will it please stop. Hey, trumpet fanfare. Democracy was invented to contain power. There do seem to be one or two major events of history that you guys are not quite up to speed with. Failures in democracy are not a reason to dispose of it, but rather a reason for even more aggressive demands for accountability and transparency. Dispose of it and you end up with the Gulag Archipelago. Come to think of it, you've even forgotten the English Revolution. The Roman Catholic Church is irrelevant in England except for the minority who choose to belong to it. If we are not free to criticize power, to ask it which end is up, to tell it which end is up, it walks all over us. The First Amendment is a really rather important piece of legislation. Logic would dictate that in any conflict with religion and capital, the valiant forces of international Marxism would be at the forefront of the struggle. Some of you guys defy belief. Have you ever actually read any Marx? History shall relate. Oh guys, what shall history relate? History shall relate that Marxists gave their all to being the tools of international finance, the most loyal servants of the kind of religion the West overthrew centuries ago, and doubtless the most enthusiastic and zealous of all the hurlers of the works of Marx, Engels and Lenin into the flames. You couldn't make it up. You think this is what Marx had in mind, do you? You think this was what Marx had in mind. I mean, here am I being all sweetly reasonable, purr. But the words that spring to mind are certifiable, straitjacket cases, Broadmoor. What are you playing at? What are you doing? I know you hate bourgeois freedom. I know you hate bourgeois democracy. That doesn't stop you being mad in this particular instance, comrade.